All right, so let's get into some live charts. We're gonna start with UJ first. I think this video, I'm gonna focus on UJ's whole trend so you can understand the market and how it moves. Now, I want to focus on the fact that UJ's been in an uptrend, right? So whenever you get an overall view of anything, if you just get an overall view, you can pretty much tell what's going on. I can see that price is going up. Excuse me. I can see price going up. I can physically see price going up. There shouldn't be a hard problem with you finding what trend is price on. You should be able to look at it and see what is going on. But I'm gonna also tell you another way. Find your latest high, find a high and then mark up from there, or find a low and then mark up from there. Now, me personally, since I can see that it's an uptrend, I'm only going to focus on highs, because when price is on an uptrend, the only thing I care about is price going to continue to break more highs? And when I'm selling, is price going to continue to break lows? So in this scenario, I will focus on if price is only breaking highs at this point, right? So we're going to start here, because this is where reversal happens and then price starts to go up. Price ended up making a high level. I'm looking at this and I'm like, where did this break out from? Where did this all start from? What high did this all start from? I'm tracking down. I see there was structure in here. It stopped here. But what was our last high before we made this low? Boom. Price sold off from this level. Price sold off from this level and made this low. This is our lowest low that we've ever been in this current time. We don't care about anything over here. We're talking about right now. As we speak, this is our lowest level of all time. And this is our highest level of all time for right now. Right? And it doesn't matter what you do. I just like doing boxes sometimes with lines. Really doesn't matter how you mark up your charts. I mostly focus on the body closes of things. In most scenarios, I'll probably use the wick if it's not fully extended. And I'm gonna explain later. Something like some wicks like this, I wouldn't box it at the bottom. I'll probably do something in between, but I'm gonna show you guys later an example. And the reason why I do that is because I can take note of the wicks. I take notes of the wicks instead. All right, so with this being said, we don't know what happened in between here. We don't care what happens in between here. All we care about is the indications. We care about where price is going. So price gives us an indication by breaking out above this level right here. This was our indication. Boom. Remember, we don't trade the indication. We don't care how far it goes up. We don't care how far it goes at all. If everybody's posting this trade, everybody's getting in this trade, so be it. Let it happen. If everybody posts on social media that they're in this trade, or everybody's posting that they're in this trade, or everybody's making profit off this trade, they didn't know where it was gonna go. People can say, oh, my TP's here based off of anything. But what we like to do is we focus on getting like the right answer every single time. I know we can't be 100% in the field, but we damn sure can be 99%. We can lose a trade once every other while, but 99% of the time we're gonna win. So, and that's not me guaranteeing anything. This is not financial advice, by the way. It is not financial advice. But yeah, I'm gonna back up my claims and we're gonna 99% most of the time. So once this breaks out, it shows you how far it wants to go up. Boom. This is as far as price wants to continue higher. I'm gonna push that higher. This is as far as price wants to go up. So after the indication, this was the resistance that was broken. Remember what I said earlier. An indication only happens when price is breaking a resistance. Let's say an indication is only when price has a breakout. The breakouts are an indication. And then price corrects itself. This is the correction. The correction is what most likely stops everybody out. So you don't want to be in anything when price is on the indication and a correction, because these are most likely going to take you out of the game. Everybody's over leveraging, getting into the breakout, trying to fit in, and then later on it comes back down. Now there's no more, job people that work 9 to 5s and they don't even look at the charts like that. They're going to see this breakout and they're going to get in immediately. They're going to come back, check later on the trade, and that's all the way back down here. Now they have no money to trade with. So now we can say the bigger money is ready to trade. We are big money. All right, so with this being said, this is when we focus in. After price is on its correction, this is where we focus in. We focus in on this area because this is where we strive at. So after price makes a correction, you need to be breaking it down. You need to go down and you need to find out what's going on, because your whole idea is to find price, one, back above this level, but also bullish structure, because that's what we're looking for. So we got to make sure all our stuff lines up together. What I mean by that is you can't have the 1 hour bearish and then the 5 minute bullish. You just can't have that and think you're going to get into a trade. So let's focus. Price ends up selling and then it creates the lowest point. Right? After price makes a low, it will always make a high. After price makes a high, it will always make a low. No matter what you think, after price makes a high, it will pull back. After price makes a high, it will pull back. After price makes a low, it will pull back. After price makes a low, it will pull back. It doesn't have to be a craziest pullback. It doesn't have to be, it can be a small pullback, a large pullback. That could be freaking the biggest pullback you've ever seen, something like this. But it will pull back. And that's where the indication comes from. I'm losing my voice. All right. So we're going to mark our highest point because this is what matters the most. And this is our lowest point. So just like indication, this is our high, this is our lowest point. What did price break out of first? Boom. It started breaking highs. We still have highs being broken. The whole time price is breaking highs, making new highs. Now, with this being said, this is a valid area to buy above and keeping our stop loss roughly anywhere below these lows, or even these lows, right? Now, I'm going to show you a perfect example of how news will play along with everything and how highs and lows really matter. So after price makes a new high, it will make a new low. No matter what it is, no matter what happens, if price makes a new high, it will make a new low, and it doesn't matter how far the new low is. As long as it's not breaking the overall structure, it doesn't matter how far it goes down. All right. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So we have a new high that was made in the market right before news. All right, so this new high was made in the market right before news. People bought on the breakout. People are going to buy on the breakout. This is where liquidity plays. People are going to buy the breakout. People are going to put all their money on the line here, risking everything they got on the line and putting their money under this level, meaning they put their stop loss under this level. Let's just remove this. I'm gonna just show you what all the stop losses might be. People putting all their stop losses under here. People are all over leveraging within here. So you know what the market is gonna do during news. Take everybody out after making a new high. It made a new high, and that's good for us because now we know we have more pushes up above this level. We know that above this gray area, above this black line that I'm finna draw, we know that price wants to push up above that level. So the next time price goes up above that level, we know this was a starting move. This was our indication. Everything that was going on was great. Price was making highs, forming healthy. Price taking everybody out because it built up consolidation. We don't trade consolidation. So when we are seeing this, we're good. We don't want it right now, but we do see that it's favoring more of pushing up than it is pushing down. So I'm gonna continue. Price taking as many people out as possible. Also here, taking, I'm pretty sure they got taken out too, but taking out as many people as, there we go. Taking out as many people as possible. Taking out as many people as possible until we get a final break above these highs. Now, price starts to break above these highs, and I want to go a little more in depth so you can also see. I love to use sessions. This is JRFX. Wait, I forgot the name, to be honest. Oh, there it goes. Junior FX Addict. This is the sessions I use. I only trade mostly New York session. I'm gonna show you how to break it down from New York sessions, timestamp, and time point. So here we had New York. Price made a resistance for itself. As we can see, price gave a little reaction in this area and it didn't want to break. This was a resistance indication. That was that breakout. Then it corrected itself and then it's back above that level. But this is during New York session, and this is not during New York session, so we're not really worried about that. So out of session, look what happens. Price makes a new high and we're back above that level. New York session comes in and we break this high once again. So this is already giving us bullish information. When price is pushing above highs, this is bullish. Nothing about this is bearish. Price is still maintaining the lows it set for itself. Support level. Support level. Support level right here. I'm going to do a support here. Price is telling you that it doesn't want to sell. It's breaking more highs than anything. So then we're going to play it back in with the fact that, let's just delete this. We're going to play it back in with the fact that it's back above this level. So we're going to end up placing our trade roughly around this area. Realistically, we're going to place our trade roughly around this area. And we're going to keep our stop loss. Honestly, let's look at this and count it up and be realistic. 30 pips could be good. 40 pips could be good. Because now we're going to aim for 290 pips. A 35 pip risk for almost 300 pips is super amazing. So we're going to continue this trade. Price reacting how it needs to be reacting. Gave a little retest. That's cool with us. We could have said we got in. We could have got in anywhere. There was so many indications. When price broke out, there was a correction. We could have got in from price being back above this level. Once price was back above this level, it was all entries. Why did we take this entry? Because I know some of you guys will ask that. Because one, we're back above this area where bulls were in control of the whole market. Two, price is breaking highs, following along with the fact that bulls are in control of the whole market. Every time we trade, we need to make sure all our time frames line up together. I use the 1 hour and I go down. I don't really do the 4 hour daily, 12 hour, but if I do, I got to make sure if the 4 hour is bullish, I got to make sure the 3 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour, 45, 30, 5, 15. I mean, I got to make sure everything is bullish. Or if I'm in sales, it has to be everything is selling. So in this standpoint, every time frame I look on, price is going to be bullish. So with this being said, we're going to go back and we see where our entry came from. Our stop loss, roughly here. We can put our stop loss under these lows. Look how many points this is going to be. A 20 pip stop loss. If you wanted to be a little bit more conservative, it could have been 40, but 20 was all we need. And why did we use this? We could have said 25. Why did we use this? Because this was a support level. If price has a support level, this shouldn't be broken. If price was actually bullish, it will keep maintaining the supports it creates for itself. It will keep maintaining, even over here, right? There was a support level here. Even during consolidation, there was a support level here. There was a support level here. Everything was continuing to maintain the level that it needed to create. My apologies. And then as you can see, with the volume, this is when you're supposed to be trading. I personally wake up at 7:50 every day, right before 8 o'clock. That's before the session starts. And this is the only time I look at the chart for that session. I wake up an hour prior to the session or 2 hours prior to the session. And then we always find our trades from there. So let's continue. As we can see, this was a beautiful New York day, right? This is a beautiful New York day. Our trade, let's put our trade on here, right? Matter of fact, let me actually go back so we can see overall, right? So here, right? And then price ended up coming back above this level right around here. And then we're gonna just place buy, right? Because this is what we'd have been buying at. Doesn't really matter how many times we buy, but this is what we would have been buying at. Our stop loss would have been roughly below here. I don't know if we can make a stop loss, but our stop loss would have been roughly below here. So this is our entry. Our TP would have been that other level. Our stop loss below here. I don't know why this is so dark and bold. Our stop loss would have been here. And we would have been targeting all the way up to this level here. First area that we would have been looking for was these previous highs, because this was the last place price did go. But I only look at this as a target level of making decisions. I look at all TPs as a decision level making, or making decision level. My apologies. So we're going to continue and we're going to watch price action. So there's a new high in the market. So you know what could happen after price makes a new high? It can make lows, and we have that pullback, and then price is still maintaining lows. I'm believing it did some similar pullback. Yeah, there we go. Price ended up pulling back and then ended up reversing once again, maintaining this level of support, making a level of support as well, making a level of support, and maintaining the overall trend that it needs to be on. This is our highest point too as well. So we're just going to keep marking this, but it doesn't really matter because I believe this was when price went straight up to TP. Oh, okay, that's perfect. That's perfect. All right, so price ended up making a high. This is the indication. The correction came in, and then back above this level, you would have been breaking it down from a smaller time frame, which I will do in this video. As you can see, price ended up coming back down to a level that we knew price above this level it will buy. So above this level, we know above this level, because it broke this resistance, it was going to do the same thing. So back above this level, we have price make a high for us. We even can stay here because these turned into highs, but I'm gonna just make it easy for you. But this was the highest level that we had. Price made a low, maintained those lows, gave us the indication, corrected itself, maintaining, and then back above this level, this is where our entry would have came from. and then we would still been targeting the same thing. So with that all being said, we're going to let this play out, and I'm going to show you how this works. So boom, price gets to that level, because whenever price is buying, it's always going to buy to the highs, and it's always going to repeat the same thing. It's always going to repeat the same thing it did before. Your job is to dissect the markets and understand where price is at in certain points, so you make sure you don't get out and get liquidated. We just broke the market down, and we only let price tell us what it wants to do. It's going to repeat the same thing every single time. We're going to take our profits here. It's going to tell you what it wants to do every single time. And now we wait, because remember, back in the beginning of the video, price moves in the trend. So there's an indication, a correction, a continuation. But with this continuation, most of the time it'll create a new indication, a correction, and the continuation will create a new indication, a correction, and then it'll create another indication over and over. That's how price moves. It's not just going to go indication, correction, and then stop here. Most of the time it breaks out, give you a new indication, correct, go, and it just continues. That's what we're looking for. That's what we want. So as we see here, price is eventually going to break out and give us a new indication. This is our new indication. We can trade based off of this. No matter how far it goes up, we don't care, because that's not what we care about. We only care when price is making itself above this level and it becomes bullish. So let's jump back down so we can get more details of what's going on. Price gives us an indication of coming all the way back down. Coming all the way up to this level. My apologies. Boom, boom. Price broke a resistance level and it came all the way up to here. As you can see, this is the resistance level that was broken. This is the indication, and it ended up correcting itself. Price is now maintaining lows. So this is a sign of bulls coming in. We need to pay attention to what's going on. After price makes a low, it will make a high. So let's pay attention to the fact that we have a high here. Excuse me, I got to drink some water real quick.